Hey guys, it's Dr. Nate from Performance Sports Chiropractic. I'm here with the Mobility Monday tip of the week. This week again, we've got Tyler from 212 Performance Gym. He's going to help us work through a foam rolling mobility exercise that I use for thoracic mobility. A lot of you sit at work throughout the day. We get into these postures where we're seated, our shoulders kind of get rounded forward, the mid-back gets rounded forward, and this particular mobility drill we're going to go through today is kind of to help break up that position that you're in throughout the day. So we start out, I like to use the longer foam rollers. This one here is the 36-inch long foam roller. It's the high density foam is all I typically recommend for patients. You can get a lot of foam rollers out there on the market that look really advanced. They have like a lot of knobs and things on them, and those work fine. We actually have some here. There's a time and place for those, but for this particular exercise, this is really all you need, just the standard foam roller. This particular one would work for if you had a shorter foam roller, it would still work, but I'm going to show you two things today, and one will require you have the longer one. So first, let's start out here with the foam roller flat on the ground. Tyler's going to position himself, and the way he's going to position himself is he's going to have this roller, and we're going to start it almost at the base of the rib cage, at his low back here. His butt is flat on the floor. He's got his feet flat on the floor, so there's a nice base of support going right here. So what we're trying to do is, again, we're trying to get out of this posture from being seated, our shoulders rolling forward. We want to open up this thoracic spine, the mid-back spine here, okay? And what we're going to have him do is, Tyler, go ahead and reach your arms up over your head here, okay? And what we're going to have him do is he's got to set his core in, okay? The main safety point for this particular mobility drill is that you don't just let yourself flop over this roller, because you could potentially cause an injury or something like that. And we don't want to do that with any of the tips that we're giving you. So the big thing is try to set in your core, lock that in, and what we're going to have him do is extend backwards over this roller. So go ahead into extension here, Tyler. And he's going to stay long, and he's going to try to reach back as far as he can. The key here is keeping your butt flat on the ground. If you pick your butt up, it actually takes away from the amount of extension that you're getting through your thoracic spine, which the goal is to get that arc through here. So come on back up, Tyler, and go back into that motion again. So this one I like to have people kind of come in and out of that particular movement here so that we can kind of mobilize some of these thoracic segments. Tyler, you can see, is not quite getting those hands to the floor. I'd like to see him get just a little bit farther down, but probably a little bit of tension in the lats here. Some of you are not going to be able to touch the floor. Some of you are going to be able to touch the floor. Either way, it's okay. You just want to make sure you set that core and get this extension over the roller. Keep your butt flat on the floor, feet flat on the floor while we're doing this. The other thing is, I want him to kind of slide down this way, Tyler. So what we're doing is moving the roller up the spine, and we're going to mobilize again. Same thing, but we want to mobilize that segment again. Perfect, good. Come back out of it. Go ahead and do that again for us. Very good. You can see as we move the roller up, it was a little bit easier for Tyler to get those arms back. If you end up straight, we're getting a nice extension in the mid-back again and getting a nice stretch through the lats. And so that's the goal for that particular portion of this mobility drill that we wanted to show you. The other part of this that I give to people, I usually give them both at the same time, so we'll give you both at the same time, is this is just more of like a static stretch. Tyler, what we're going to have you do is position yourself lengthwise laying on this here. So down your spine. And this is where the length of having the longer foam roller comes into play, as I spoke about earlier. Just because some of you who are taller, I might be able to fit on the shorter one, but some of you that are taller will want that extra space. So a couple things that I like about this particular position here. Last week when we showed you the dead bug exercise, I emphasized having a flat spine into the floor. Again, when you're on the roller here, I want to have a flat spine into the roller. What we're going to do here is I'm going to have Tyler kind of bend his elbows slightly. So I want to have slightly bent elbows here. And this one's really easy and it's pretty comfortable because all we're going to do is have him try to push these elbows towards the floor. And we're getting a nice stretch through the pecs here. Okay, so we're opening up the chest, opening up the thoracic cavity. And Tyler also has a nice flat spine here. The other thing he's got is, actually slide back just a little bit here, Tyler. We're going to position his head so that it's right at the edge of the roller here, okay? And another thing that we can do is something called self-myofascial release of the muscles just at the base of the skull here. We call them the suboccipital muscles. But he can kind of sink his head in here and kind of rotate your spine to the left and right. You'll feel a little bit of tenderness sometimes in those spots here. Those muscles are good to release at times. Again, some of the postural positions are going to cause trigger points, tender stuff in the suboccipital musculature. So this one's really easy. It's just a matter of kind of holding, relaxing here. You know, this is not a bad thing to do if you have an office. Keep one of the foam rollers in the office. Get out of your chair periodically throughout the day and do this one here where we're just laying on it lengthwise, and then also the mobility one where we're extending over the roller so you can get up off here. Tyler? So again, that roller was just lengthwise down his spine, and he was resting his head at the edge right here, just to point that out. But yeah, so that's what we have for you this week, everybody. Hopefully that will kind of help with some of the postural stuff that we, all deal with throughout the day, or a lot of us do. Again, make sure that if any of this stuff ever causes pain, that you always check in with somebody. But yeah, that's it for this week, guys. Have a great week. Thanks, Tyler.